All right. Well, you guys, welcome to the podcast. It's the Elite Review Podcast. I'm very thankful you all decided to come on and join. It's very nice to speak with you guys. Um, I would like it if y'all could just introduce yourself a little bit, mention what you do on your Instagram accounts here. We can start with you, Katelyn, if you just want to introduce yourself.
My name's Katelyn. My account is Peter Eats Hot Dogs Daily, and every day I post the video of Peter eating a hot dog while watching the police run by. That's
Great
it.
stuff. Great stuff. And then Josh, if you want to introduce yourself.
My name is Josh. My account, I post Bonesaw, the scene where Bonesaw says, the 3 minutes at playtime scene. Sorry, I'm not good at describing stuff, but the wrestling scene.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ethan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ethan, also known as Peter Screams Daily, and I post the infamous Scream from Spider-Man 2 every day.
Oh yeah,
One of the
So
founders of the Daily Raimis.
that's
They're
true.
one of the leaders.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You really are. You're one of the first I've ever followed here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, same.
Same. Yeah.
So we thank you for your kind of starting of this movement here.
The inspiration.
It's become huge. I mean, for anybody out there, there's just tons of Raimi daily accounts that are posted every day, and we got tons of memes from all the Spider-Man movies, and it's a great
Yeah, it's
movement.
amazing.
I
Oh
support
yeah,
it.
tons.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, yeah, I just had some questions for you guys, really quick, and we can go in that same order of how I asked you guys things. But what made you guys big Raimi fans, or when did you start becoming a big Raimi fan?
I go first. Is it me?
Yeah, we'll start with you.
Okay,
Caitlin, yeah.
sorry. Well, I don't. Okay, so like I've always really liked movies, but as a kid, like the Spider-Man movies were so freaking cool. Like those are like the first movies I ever like vividly remember. Like see me sitting down on the couch and my mom putting it in a DVD player, me just watching the whole thing. Like I don't know why, like everything was so cool. Like the score was amazing. Like even the effects, they still look good today. And like it just, I mean, it was so cool. I mean, it was just like one of the, honestly, I think it's probably like one of the best superhero like trilogies. I still think so, or just movies in general, because that set off like a huge like impact. And I don't know, I just think like those movies are so cool, and I just ever after that, I just loved movies. I loved watching them. The experience was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, yeah.
Is there a reason that you decided to do the hot dog? I mean, what made you think of doing the hot dog scene?
Well, it's because it's like me and my friends really like the movies, so it was like an inside joke for a little bit. And then I did go to New York and I recreated it because I
Oh
loved it.
really?
Yeah, I
That's
did.
cool.
That's amazing.
Kind
That's
of. I did
awesome.
my best, and that's why I think that that scene. I was like, I love that scene. I want it so bad, so I took it. I was like, hey guys, it's me now.
Great. That's amazing. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, Josh, how did you start becoming a big Raimi fan or Spider-Man fan?
I I feel like my memories of movies just went back pretty far for me. And I remember I had like those DVD, like big book thing where you put a bunch of DVDs in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Mhm.
always look for the Spider-Man one, and the disc just looked so iconic to me. Like, when I saw it, I'm like, I that's it stuck out to me. And then I watched them, and I loved them. My dad showed them to me. They're just great.
So cool. So cool. And
Nice.
I had a follow-up question to this just for you because I know you're from Germany and stuff, but are the Raimi movies like as big in Germany as you would say they are like here in the US? Because I know it's an American film and everything, but would you say a lot of people like the Raimi films there as well, or that you know?
I'm not sure, because I don't
Yeah.
really interact with people in like the German economy or like the Germans themselves because I live more with like the American children. Like those are the people I talk to more.
Yeah.
I don't really, so I'm not sure how big its influence is here in Germany.
Mhm.
But I've asked a couple people about it at my school, and they said they liked them. So
Cool. Cool. And then Ethan, when did you become a big Spider-Man fan or Raimi fan?
The trilogy's always been really nostalgic for me. Me and my cousin, especially, we would always, go through all three of them and just constantly quote the movie. We would actually do the scream that I do on my page. We'd always do that over and over. That's kind of how I, got the idea for it. And then I was also inspired by J. Jonah Jameson, laughing daily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one of the first I followed too. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
me
cool.
too.
Did you guys ever lose your voices from doing the scream too much?
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Great stuff. Aiden, you got any questions for these guys here?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Then we'll go ahead and move on. Typically, we like to talk about just some current news going on, and I figured we could talk about the Spider-Man news that's going on right now because there's a lot of it for Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland. I mostly wanted to talk about and just see how you each feel about, I guess we got a packed movie. I don't know if you guys have heard. I mean, we got Jamie Foxx from Amazing Spider-Man coming. We got Doctor Strange coming. And now I heard they got Venom they're trying to get coming, like Tom Hardy Venom. And then I heard Kirsten Dunst are going to try getting back, and the dude who plays Harry from Amazing Spider-Man. So, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys like that? I don't know if you guys are even big Holland fans, really, of those movies.
That's crazy.
But yeah.
That's a lot. I didn't notice there were that many people that were rumored to be brought back, but that's just crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Tom Hardy. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
I was like,
that was really
it's a
recent.
rumor, but
okay. I mean, that's really. I kind of like Electro, Jamie Foxx. I think that'd be kind of interesting, cause like, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Jamie Foxx, but like, I don't think he did awful. I think he did like just fine with what he was in that movie, and I think it'd be kind of interesting to see Electro come back in a Tom movie. I don't know, that'd be really cool.
yeah, I think so too. I think if he was done right, he could do really well.
Yeah.
I don't think he was very much done right.
Yeah, exactly.
He was pretty bad in that movie.
Yeah.
It just the tooth gap, like that's all I could think about.
Oh yeah.
the part I always think about is how Spider-Man's like lick it and then he like rubs his hair, like his little bit of hair.
Yeah,
So weird.
It's so weird.
Daily tooth gap.
Is there a daily tooth gap?
No, that'd be great though.
That should be a thing.
That'd be great. And then my follow-up question to that, I guess, obviously we're probably getting a multiverse here, as you can tell. And that obviously leads to the potential Spider-Verse live action with Toby and Andrew maybe coming back. Do you guys like that? I assume maybe, but any thoughts on how you feel about that?
That'd be awesome. Like, if they can do it right, which that's possible. Like, with all the stuff they're packing in, all this content they're bringing back from older actors and stuff like that. Like, if they do it right, which they could, but like, I think it could do really well. It'd be really interesting and a fun movie to watch.
It'd be so cool to see all three incarnations of Spider-Man together.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, like the Peter Parker or Tobey Maguire's like kind of like I don't know how to explain his Spider-Man, but like the best Spider-Man, meeting like moody Andrew Garfield, like I'm a loser Spider-Man, and then Tom Holland's like, hey everybody, Spider-Man. That'd be so funny.
That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you could have some really like good banter between them, and like if they fought together, that would be so cool to watch. It really would.
It would. And I personally would love to see them bring back some funny like dialogues from their own Spider-Man movies. Like if Toby could talk about how he worked at a pizza place or worked for the Daily Bugle. He's like, I know J. Jonah Jameson from Far From Home. I know that guy or something like that. That'd be so cool.
That'd be so interesting.
Yeah.
And the iconic scream.
Oh yes.
He just shows up just for the scream and he leaves. That's all I need. And then what?
It'd be kind of fun to see like Tom Holland and he's like in his iron Spidey suit, and then like Andrew and Toby just look at him like, what? Like
that's true.
What is that?
Is this allowed? Like,
true.
That would be so interesting.
So cool. Yeah, I think personally for me, I am a big fan. I obviously, of course, I want to see Tom and Andrew. I mean, sorry, Toby and Andrew show up in the movies in the MCU or however they want to do that. I'm all for it. The thing is I just hope they don't mess it up. Spider-Man 3, because they tend to mess up a potential third movie or a third movie with packing too much, right? We've seen it before.
Yeah.
And I just
Too many villains.
it's almost becoming like there's too many people in this, so I hope it's done right. I don't know about you guys if you ever heard, but you know how Spider-Man 3 had these rumors of Kraven the Hunter and how Spider-Man's on the run, right? Or going to go to court because everyone's after him after the death of Mysterio, right? I was expecting it to head more in that direction, and now it seems like it's taking a whole different twist to a whole multiverse leading into Doctor Strange 2.
I like read something about with Doctor Strange. I guess in like one comic series, Peter Parker goes to Doctor Strange is like after his identity is revealed, and like Doctor Strange has to do like some memory wipe kind of stuff, and they go in like that direction and like get rid of so people forget about his identity. But I don't know if that's how they're gonna take it. But when I heard Doctor
Maybe.
Strange was in it, I was like that's something that they could
That would
do.
be cool.
Yeah,
That
I'm
would
really
be really
curious
cool.
to see.
Yeah, and I thought didn't Doctor Strange show up in Thor?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah, for a scene.
So I like Doctor Strange just kind of like being like just randomly in the movies for some reason. I
Just
don't
to
know
make
why. That's kind of
cameos
fun.
and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I love Benedict
For fun.
Cumberbatch, and I love
I
Doctor
love
Strange.
him
So, I
too,
mean, I'm
yeah.
all for it, and I love how
Mhm.
Infinity War, how they already met each other and stuff. I'm all for it, but
Oh, he's
Oh
awesome.
yeah, I just hope it's
But
done
I don't
well.
know.
What makes me happy is that Sam Raimi will be directing Doctor Strange 2, so I think that'll be great to lead up from Spider-Man
Oh, that's gonna
3
be
with
awesome.
Sam Raimi directing it. I mean, I hope he brings back some sort of Spider-Man something, Tobey Maguire something into Doctor Strange 2. I would be all for that, 100%.
Oh, he could fill that thing with
Me
Easter
too.
eggs. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, especially that J. Jonah one where he's trying to name Doc Ock and he's like Doctor Strange. That would be so
Yeah,
cool
uh-huh.
to have that payoff.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Full circle. Yeah,
That'd be
so cool.
cool.
I want to see more J. Jonah Jameson.
Mhm.
You serious?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Any more scenes with
Serious?
him is gold.
Oh yeah, I'm all here for J. Jonah. J. Jonah's never done wrong.
Yeah.
He's always good. Every movie, solid guy. I just love J.K. Simmons though and everything. To be
I'm
honest.
so
Me
glad
too.
he's back.
so good. I know,
Like,
right?
Oh, when that revealed in the second, what was it? Oh
In
my
Far
God,
From Home?
Far From Home.
Far from
Yeah.
home.
I gasped. I was like, oh my God.
I was so happy
yeah.
about it.
I know, right? That was a great surprise.
It was awesome. I was so glad they didn't
Loved it.
recast him either. Like,
Oh, I know.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
he's great.
He
Have
can
you
do
guys
that.
ever
Really.
seen Whiplash?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw that. He's insane
It's
in
one of
that
my
movie.
favorite movies.
I
Yeah.
love him in that
It's
movie.
awesome.
Where he's just
He is
like
a
he's
good
like not
actor.
my tempo. Yeah. Oh, he's great. And honestly, he's like buff in that movie somehow. I don't know what J.K. Simmons does for a workout.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know if you guys noticed his biceps. They are huge.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow he's a huge guy in that movie, but it's awesome. But okay, cool. Moving on from there. I had a quick question for you all, and it's mostly about just movies in general at this time in life, because I don't know about you guys' areas. I want to hear about you guys' areas that you live in, and if movies are like, if you can even go to the movie theater yet. Are there movie theaters open by you guys? I know a lot of movies are getting delayed right now. I just wanted to see, I guess, if how it is in your area with, I guess, the pandemic and movies affecting you guys. So yeah, I mean, you can start, Caitlin, if you want.
Wait, let me. Sorry, I had to cough real fast.
You're good.
Well, up here, so I'm from like a smaller community kind of, and which is actually pretty lucky, like right now. So our numbers aren't like incredibly, crazy. But
That's good.
so our movie theater actually, they reopened a while ago. I'm not quite sure how many months, but and they're doing like the distance thing and like mask and everything, so they're following protocol. But they so since there's no new releases, they've just like put in old movies. I think they did Back to the Future for a while, Jurassic Park. They did some horror movies. So they were kind of doing that, and then once some movies started coming out, like they had New Mutants in and Tenet, and I saw both of those ones in theaters. So I mean we're still there. I mean they got to make money. Ours is really small, so
Yeah,
that's why.
that's basically the same for us.
Yeah, same here. Same here in Utah. Same thing. Like
Yeah.
old these movies, especially Back to the Future and Jurassic
Yeah.
Park. You can find those at any movie theater.
They
Empire.
did. They had
Empire
Empire.
Strikes
Yeah,
Back.
ours
Yeah.
did too.
Yeah, I saw Empire. It was awesome.
And then
Random
whatever
question.
movies are being released. Yeah.
New Mutants. How was that? I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
I mean, it was okay. There's
I heard
definitely
it did
parts.
pretty bad.
I mean, there was a lot of potential. It could have been really cool, but like you're watching the movie, you're just kind of like, I don't. Why am I watching this? You know, I don't really.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, it was just kind of disappointing.
Dang.
Yeah.
They tried to go a
That's
different
sad.
direction, which would have been cool, but they should have stuck with it. Like if they were gonna do horror, or what the trailers were supposedly they were trying to do, they should have stuck with it because it kind of like. I don't know. It kind of went back and forth between, oh, we want to be scary, but like not too scary, you know? It was weird. I mean,
Makes sense.
if you miss it, I don't think you're missing much, so it's okay.
Okay, good to know.
Mhm.
And then yeah, Josh, how are things there? Is everything way different Germany there? Or?
Well, Germany, I don't think has like a lot of cases for the pandemic,
Wow.
like
Oh,
in
really?
the States. So they have movie theaters open, but like I'm not gonna go to the movies because either I had to find a specific time where they're showing a movie in English, or I go see it in German, which I've only done that once to see Star Wars, which I don't know why I did that, but
Yeah.
Star Wars in German.
yeah, that
How
was
was that?
interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it was like our first year back here in a while, and it's
Mhm.
like my mom surprised us with tickets to go see the movie in German, so I had to pick out what words I sort of remembered, and then it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
With the,
Cool. Well, that's great that you
Nice.
guys don't have many cases and stuff there. Doing better than us here. But
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
awesome.
It's great to hear. And then yeah, Ethan, I mean, your situation any different there in Georgia?
Yeah, my movie theater actually took advantage of the whole COVID thing. They did like a full remodel while everyone was, not allowed to be inside. So there's like new recliner seats and everything. I went and saw Tenet actually and got to try out the new seats and everything. So it kind of helped out my movie theater over here.
Awesome. That's great.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have all of you seen Tenet?
I haven't.
No,
Mhm.
Haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Just me and Ethan.
You gotta see it.
I haven't seen it.
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
It's
I've heard it's good.
It's very loud.
I
but-
mean, I definitely think Inception was like better.
oh yeah.
I don't know,
I
but I
agree,
feel like I
100%.
should watch
I haven't
Tenet
seen
again.
Inception.
Oh my
Oh,
dude,
gosh.
it's a
Inception
good
still.
one.
Inception's some
It's a
top
good
tier
one.
stuff, man. Honestly, I think
Mhm.
for me that's Christopher Nolan's best. I mean,
Yeah.
not counting
Yeah.
the Batman trilogy, I think it's his best. But,
It definitely
I've got
is.
to
It's
watch it.
awesome.
It's awesome.
I have the
So-
DVD. I just haven't watched it yet.
oh, dude, get that cranked.
I really gotta.
You gotta watch that
I keep
tonight.
planning on it, but I just haven't.
Watch Inception and then go see Tenet.
Yeah.
I'll watch it this week maybe.
I should definitely rewatch Tenet though because
Me too.
it's just one of those
Yeah,
movies.
Definitely.
yeah.
I was way confused and
Oh, me and my friend, I went together, and like halfway through the movie, I leaned over, I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but like
Yeah.
I know they'll explain it, I know they will, but like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
yeah,
I don't
as
get
most
it.
Christopher Nolan movies will do to you.
Yep.
Cool things. Well, okay, then we're actually going to move on to the actual bulk of this video, the reviews and ranking of these Raimi films here, the trilogy. I was going to start off with just everyone's favorite thing about each movie, or your favorite things about each movie. Maybe favorite scenes. I don't know if your favorite things are the actors. I mean, I think everybody has their favorite scenes or favorite memes, anything like that. Just we can start with you, Katelyn, again. Just what are your favorite things about each movie for you?
Each movie? Okay, this
Yeah.
might take me. I just like the first movie. I'm just thinking of like scenes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in the first movie is when he's hiding from Norman and he's like up on the ceiling and he just looks over and there's a single like the drop of blood and the way it hits the ground. Oh, I remember watching that and being so mesmerized when I was a kid. Like I held my breath that whole sequence. I was like like he's gonna find him.
Yeah.
That I loved that part of the movie. That's one of my favorite scenes of all of them.
Yeah, that's intense.
And somehow Norman hears that drop hits the ground, I guess, loud
doesn't he
enough.
like smell too? Doesn't he like
Probably.
sniff?
I don't even know. I just know like it hits the ground and he like turns around. And he's
Yeah,
like, oh.
He hears it for some reason. I know. I'm like, oh,
That'd be
okay.
the quietest noise.
Probably.
Yeah.
Weird stuff.
I honestly, and then
Anything
like
else?
least favorite from that one. I don't know. The first one is probably my favorite one. Honestly,
Mhm.
I can't really choose like a bad thing that I didn't like.
No, that's fine.
I don't know. I don't know. That one is a weird one, but I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You have to come back to me on that one, maybe.
Cool. Then Spider-Man 2, kind of favorite things? I know you're watching
Spider-Man
that right now.
2. Oh my God, Spider-Man 2 has so many. The one part that stuck with me so much is when Doc Ock's wife dies and the glass is flying towards her and you can see her reflection. She's just screaming. Ooh, that part is so good. It's so sad. I love it though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I actually just rewatched it in the part where he's in the hospital room and they're about to cut off his arms and they come alive and that part scared me so much as a kid. I remember I couldn't finish the movie for a while because of that part.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting watching that and then knowing Sam Raimi and then like thinking of the Evil Dead because he does so many Evil Dead things in there. Like he is
so many.
the zoom in on the face. He has a point of view shot with the tentacles. It's so good.
The scraping on the ground.
Oh yeah, the
Oh my
girl.
gosh.
That is forever ingrained in my mind. The girl like scraping on the ground. That's what scared me as a kid. I used to cry when that happened. I remember that. That is one of my favorite parts.
Nice.
But honestly, in the second movie, one of my least favorite is Mary Jane in her like whole engagement with the dude. I mean, I understood it like from like how to motivate Peter, you know, but I was just kind of like I don't really care that much about it. Like, you know, I don't know. I love Mary Jane so much, but sometimes in the movies I'm like, girl, like it, like
100%.
and her whole shows, you know, like the shows that they kill me, man. I'm just like I don't know. I feel like there's so many more better things, but I don't know. Those things are kind of
maybe the hot dog scene, maybe.
Oh yeah, the hot dog scene for sure. The entire raindrops when he sticks in the bike and it falls out the window.
Oh yeah.
Dude ran.
Oh, I love that part. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. The second one has so many good parts, honestly.
Awesome.
And then
it really does.
Yeah.
Third one, I honestly love Sandman. I think
like his story or something.
Yeah, I liked what they did with him, and I liked the whole transformation scene is so cool. And like when he's grabbing the locket, I mean that is the coolest part. And I really liked what they did with him. I liked how he was like I wasn't really an anti-hero, but he wasn't you felt bad for him. And I think he did awesome. I kind of wish they would have just had him in the movie maybe and just devoted like I don't know,
agree.
that would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then my least favorite was probably what's the actor's name? From Topher Grace.
Oh yeah.
As Eddie Brock. I mean, he did okay. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but I like you, but nah, I don't know. You rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, nah, you just, I don't like it. My spidey sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, it's Topher Grace. Like, I can't. It's Eric
like,
Foreman.
Peter, you're such a Boy Scout.
Yeah.
You gotta give the guy a break.
I know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's cool. Great stuff. Josh, now for your turn.
Okay, wait. So what do you want me to explain? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just each movie, just like your like favorite part and maybe some least favorite parts. Just kind of what you really like about each movie and don't like.
Okay. So, Spider-Man 1. Let's see. That one was awesome. I love that one. I think my favorite part of it was I love Green Goblin. Like, he was such a fun villain. I think that was one of my favorite parts of it. Like, I just love that part so much, and part of the movie so much. So I would say that's my favorite part of the movie. And then my least favorite part, let me think for a second. Oh, wait, my favorite scene, I'd say, is when he's like, I have a father. His name is Ben Parker. And like when he's fighting, I'd say that was a really good part for me. And okay, least favorite part. It was very difficult. I really liked that movie. That one's my favorite. So
It's fine if you got any least favorite. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Cool.
Okay. So Spider-Man 2. I love that one also. I like the part where it like showed him like just getting pooped on the whole movie. Like when he like when John announces that he's getting married, like at that one party scene. I really like that scene because it's like he's down in the dumps. He's like at the lowest part he can be at. I really
They
like
keep
that
taking
scene.
the food away from him.
Yeah, that was
So
that
right.
was such. I love that scene.
Gets the empty glass.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then least favorite part. It's very hard. Like I'm not. I hope I'm not letting my thoughts like block it looking negative or anything. But
You're good.
I don't know. You'll have to come back to me on that one.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay. Spider-Man 3. I really love the Sandman scene when after he's transformed and he's like he comes out in his whole sand form and he reaches for the necklace.
That's a well-made scene.
Yeah, it kind of freaked me out at first because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that looks weird. And then I was like, I noticed how like what they were doing with the scene. I was like understood it more, and I really loved it. Like, just wow, that was a really good scene. And then least favorite part, I'd say Topher Grace as well. I mean, I don't have anything against him, but like, it's like I watched that, and then I kind of watched that '70s show after, like, and watching all of that, and then I went back to watch Spider-Man 3, and I'm like, this is weird. I mean, he's doing something new, but that's weird.
I did not know he was in that show. I really didn't.
I think he's the main character.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff. Awesome. And in Spider-Man 1, do you like that scene? 3 minutes got you for 3 rounds.
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't say that. That's the first when I was thinking like, wow, a lot of people are making these accounts. I might as well make one. And then that's the first scene that came to mind. I really like that scene too.
Hey, freak show.
Hey,
freak show. Oh, so good.
Going nowhere. Really
Love
good
that
scene.
part.
Yeah.
Love that. Awesome. Cool stuff. It looks like I might have lost Ben. Hopefully he comes back soon. Okay, cool. And Ethan, you what are some of your favorite things, any least favorite things of each movie?
All right, Spider-Man 1, the Thanksgiving table scene. I think there's just so much tension. It's so good. I don't know if you guys watch High Top Films. He did like a full breakdown. It's such a good scene. I love it. Spider-Man 2, it's got to be the scream. I mean,
yeah.
And then Spider-Man 3, for me, it's the bell tower scene. Like when that score kicks in and it starts going up to the bell tower, I just get chills every time. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Any least favorite things?
I think 1 and 2 are pretty much perfect, but 3, the exact moment he does that little hair flip, like with his hair.
Which one are we talking about? Like when he messes up his hair, or when he like is just like?
No, it's like when he's at the Daily Bugle. Yeah, he does little hair flip. That's the lowest point in the entire trilogy. That exact.
Oh my god!
That exact.
I forgot all about that scene. That's my least favorite.
Just that little smirk, and he's just like
a hair flip. Yeah.
Isn't he like flirting with the receptionist too?
Yeah.
I'd like to shoot you sometime.
I hate that part.
That's so weird.
He's like, Parker, it's not what I pay you to do. Oh, so good. So good.
Oh,
Cool.
Position I hired you for.
I forgot to say
Yeah.
another part that always sticks out to me is when he's after Uncle Ben died and he's running through the alleyway, switching to his wrestler outfit. I love the theme. That's I think it's called like Revenge. That's like my favorite songs or whatever soundtracks
That's a
of the
good
whole
one.
trilogy.
Is that when he's running after the guy who shot his uncle?
Yeah, that one's my favorite, and I love that
that's
scene
cool.
as well.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Okay, I guess me and Aiden will go really quick. Aiden, are you still there? Can you hear us and everything?
Yeah, really quick. My Wi-Fi is being really stupid. It keeps kicking me out and then putting me back in.
Dang. Are you on
So I
data?
don't know what to do about that. Yeah, I have to use data. My Wi-Fi completely doesn't work.
Okay, well, we can still hear you, so.
And I'm
Give it a
like
shot.
all out of data mostly.
Oh, no.
So it's not
Well-
going so well for me. But
Sorry, bro.
so should I just run through each movie then?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just each movie, favorite things.
Okay, so Spider-Man 1, my favorite thing is William Dafoe, Green Goblin.
Mhm.
He's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2.
I don't think we can hear you.
He's back.
You
Got
back? There,
disconnected.
now we can hear you. You can go and try again.
Did you hear what I said about the first one?
Yeah, just not Spider-Man 2.
Okay, that's a hard one. I don't really have like a favorite. I think the whole end battle is cool though, with Doc Ock sacrificing himself and stuff. I also love the train sequence. That's probably my favorite scene actually.
Mhm. Good stuff.
That's an awesome one. Spider-Man 3, I like all the memes. Oh, I forgot to mention Jay Jonah in all the movies is just gold. He's probably my favorite character. Yeah, Spider-Man 3, I love all the memes. I don't really have a good favorite part about it too much. Yeah, that's basically it.
Any
I
of
don't
these
have
favorite
much to
things?
say after all you guys. I think Tobey Maguire can be really cringy sometimes. Kind of brings it down a little bit for me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But also that makes it some of the best scenes too, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good memes.
I think, man, I love James Franco, but I think in Spider-Man 2, he's not very great. He's not the greatest actor in that movie. I think he
Ruined.
does better in the other ones.
He's honestly just annoying in Spider-Man 2. Like,
I know, right?
I want to
Such
kill
a jerk.
Spider-Man.
It doesn't change anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even after he saves his
Ruin
life,
me by
he's like,
touching me.
yeah.
I love that one.
Spider-Man 3, I mean, I can come up with quite a list. I think the dumbest thing to me is that Harry hits his head and he loses his memory from like the last two movies.
Yeah.
But he remembers everyone, but that
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
plot line's really dumb to me.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Well, yeah, I'll run it through really quick. Spider-Man 1, favorite part for me. Honestly, I just love the final battle where Green Goblin's just holding Mary Jane out and the kids, and he's just like, "You got to pick one." And I just love how Peter's just like
Oh, I love that.
gets Mary Jane, and he's just holding on to this huge thing, and the people in New York are just like, "Get away, Green Goblin!" And I just love that part specifically. For some reason, I
that's
love when
awesome.
Peter grabs everything with the tray, just because I love how that's shot. And I was just like,
Oh yeah.
and when he webs the tray
They
and stuff.
actually, that shot with the, not you, Mom, sorry. The shot with the tray,
Uh-huh.
that was actually like practical. Like they had Tobey
Really?
Maguire do that, and it took like, I think it was
Wait,
like over
really?
200 shots. Yeah,
Oh, that's
200
awesome.
shots.
and like
Holy
it took him so long. But he actually had to like catch all that stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
I remember reading about that, and it was so interesting.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, those are my favorite things about Spider-Man 1. I mean, I can't really think of much more. Spider-Man 2, I have quite a bit of favorites. I actually like a lot of scenes in that movie. I think my favorite would have to be either the train, or I love when he decides he's just gonna give up being Spider-Man. Like when he puts his suit in the trash can. That's always been a scene that stuck around with me since I was a kid for some reason. Makes me very nostalgic. And I just love the whole pizza part where he just like has to get there in 7.5 minutes, and he's just on his moped trying to get through the city. And he goes and picks up the pizza box and he leaves them there on the building. I just love that whole sequence, and pizza time, of course. I love that whole part
Oh
there.
yes,
And
pizza time.
I love when he
forgot
shows
about
up to Mary Jane's performance and the bouncer just won't let him in. He's just like, "You're late. You need a ticket." All this stuff. And there's a lot of things I love about that movie, but those are probably some of my favorites. And then, yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I forgot one of my least favorite things. MJ kind of bugs me throughout the whole trilogy. Mostly Spider-Man 2 and 3 actually.
Yeah, she's a little toxic.
Just wanted to say that she's so annoying to me.
Oh, yeah, that cafe scene where she's like got that ring on. I mean, I bet she had her reasons, and then she's like, "Kiss me." It's like,
Oh yeah.
I can't stand it.
Ugh.
I just rewatched Spider-Man 1 today, and I actually have to say I don't mind how she is in that movie with Peter. I actually kind of like their chemistry in that movie,
yeah,
and it's actually believable.
I think
But
it's
then,
mostly the second one and the third.
it's mostly 2 and 3. She just becomes like this, like she's just trying to play Peter, and she acts like she doesn't want him, but she really does. And I don't like how back and forth she is with them in those.
I like Kirsten Dunst though. I do like her Mary Jane, but it's like after a while, like she gets kidnapped so many times. Like it's just ridiculous.
I know. Every
That's
movie
so
kidnapped.
true.
Every movie. I guess that's
Every single movie, yeah. I didn't think about that.
I know. But cool. And then my favorite part for Spider-Man 3, my favorite serious part, if I want to be serious, probably when he saves Gwen Stacy and he's doing that whole shot going through the cranes and all the debris and saving her. I
Ooh.
like that scene.
That seems awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's like half serious, half meme. I actually like the whole vibe of the club with the jazz people playing and stuff, but it is such a meme at the same time. But I do like jazz music, so I love when they're just playing jazz and she's just going to sing at a jazz club. I like that Mary Jane just works at a jazz club as a waitress. That's cool stuff. If I say my favorite meme, it has to obviously be him walking down the street with the song. Everybody knows it. It's amazing. So I love that.
Heck yeah.
My least favorite things each movie, I mean, I could come up with a few for each one. Spider-Man 2, except Spider-Man 2, I mean, I think that movie's pretty flawless almost, besides some memes, Spider-Man 1, I don't know. I kind of just don't like Tobey Maguire in some parts where he just kind of keeps his mouth open and does these kind of weird faces at Mary Jane or different things.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he doesn't respond. He
I
just like doesn't
noticed that.
respond, and he just sits there and just has like his
He
mouth
just stares.
open. And it's so weird to me. But any specific scene, I don't know. Back to Formula is kind of ridiculous when he just like grabs a guy and he's just like having a seizure in the tank and stuff. I don't know. It's all ridiculous. But also makes it great, right? Spider-Man 2, least favorite thing. I don't know. Probably Harry, honestly. I just hate when Harry's just like, I'm ruined, and just how much whininess is in that one. And
it's like you could honestly take Harry out of the whole movie, the whole second movie, and I don't know if it would really change anything.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm honestly not a huge fan of Harry in the first one either. I know he's kind of plays a small role, but he's just kind of a jerk. Like, he doesn't defend MJ at all when his dad's being a jerk, and he kind of just goes after MJ even though he knows Peter likes her and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's just kind of a jerk. I don't really like it. I don't get why Peter's friends with him, to be honest with you. And then Spider-Man 3, least favorite part. I kind of don't like how the black suit turns into like an actual Spider-Man suit that looks like his red one.
Yeah.
I don't really get that at all.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
And
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. That part's always been just something I can't wrap my mind around. And then I don't really like Venom very much, even though he shows up for the last like 15 minutes. I'm not a big fan of Venom. I think he was done very wrong,
Mhm.
with just his screams and how he can
Very bad.
how he has fangs, like Topher Grace has fangs in his actual
Yeah.
teeth.
Yeah.
Things like that. Or
Oh, I hate
I'm
how
not
he
a
keeps
big fan.
taking off his mask.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
like Venom.
It keeps peeling back.
Yeah, weird
Cool
stuff.
concept, but it was weird.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the way they did like the actual Venom stuff and how it like came together
Mm-hmm.
and actually like that stuff. But I always question like why does it look like a suit? Like was
Yeah.
the Venom like the symbiote like oh that's a good looking suit right there.
Yeah.
Like I should make something just like that. Like okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and it's like all gooey at first, but then it just forms into like a Spider-Man suit that he wears under his clothes.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I don't get it very much.
Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, and I also a part I can't stand is how the ring is falling in midair and Peter's still somehow able to catch that ring. I can't buy it.
Yeah,
I know it creates tension, and I shouldn't take it seriously, but I kind of do. And I just hate how it's like falling, and he's still able to just like catch it while he's fighting Harry, and goes back to catch it. Like
Yeah, it's just
Agreed.
But yeah, I mean that's all I got there. So we can move on to our next part here. I mostly just want everyone to just quickly rank it. I mean, I was just thinking of a scale of 1 to 10 from your from your least favorite movie to your favorite movie, scale 1 to 10. I don't know if y'all
Okay.
can do that really quick, but Caitlin, you want to
Yeah.
go first?
well least favorite to favorite. Well, I mean definitely 3 is just gonna be
Yeah.
on my lowest, of course. If we're talking like meme worthy scale, it's definitely like a freaking 100 out of 10.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I want to say it's like a 5 out of 10. I mean, it's got some really good ideas. It just didn't really all come together very well. But like, it's still like a fun movie to watch for sure. Like,
Mhm.
you get a lot of stuff out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's hard because I think 2 is just like a better movie. Like I really enjoy it, but I love 1 so much, so 2 is gonna be my second one. And I think that's like an 8 or maybe a 7. I think there's parts that could be cleaned up, but I think overall, like that is just a good movie. Like it's fun. And then 1, I mean, 1 is probably a 7, but I mean, it's wonderful. It's great.
Mhm.
William Dafoe staring into the mirror and just smiling, like he's amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love him. But
Cool. All right, Josh, got your ranking now.
Okay. So I'm gonna put Spider-Man 3 as my least favorite, but I really like it. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. Like it was good, and like Caitlin said, it had some pretty good ideas, but it was like done kind of weirdly, I think. So,
Mhm.
and then I'd put Spider-Man 2 next, because I really like it, and I feel like what puts Spider-Man 1 ahead of that for me, or I'd give Spider-Man 2 an 8 out of 10, and Spider-Man 1 a 9 out of 10, because just like as a better, like I can rewatch it more, like it has a better rewatchability. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel about Spider-Man 1 being my favorite.
Cool. Awesome. And then yeah, Ethan, we got your ranking here.
So yeah, I'm like everyone else. Spider-Man 3 is obviously the lowest on the list.
Yeah.
It's still like an 8 for me though, because
Mhm.
I don't know, a lot of people hate on it, but I really enjoy it. There's obviously a lot of stuff wrong with it, but you know, I don't even really need to explain it. Everyone pretty much knows what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Spider-Man 1 for me, actually, which is probably like a 9. It's a fantastic movie. I just feel like the origin story stuff takes up kind of a pretty big chunk of the movie, which is why Spider-Man 2 is number 1 for me. I think it's pretty much perfect, 10 out of 10. The concept they did with Peter losing his powers, I think that was like the smartest thing they could have done, because you see him at his lowest and then he makes a comeback and you see him, you know, at his highest. So yeah, Spider-Man 2 is my favorite.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool.
Nice.
Aiden, you want to do yours now?
Yeah, it might kick me out again, but I'll try.
Okay. Good luck.
So coming in at last place, I have 3. I gave it a 4 out of 10.
Oh
If
my
it was for
God.
my enjoyment level, I would give it like if it was for enjoyment, I'd give it like a 9.
Mm-hmm.
But as an actual movie, I do think it's pretty bad. It has more things wrong with it than right. Uh, in second, I have Spider-Man 1. I gave it a 7, just because it's good, but it's not as good as Spider-Man 2. And then yeah, I have Spider-Man 2 at number 1. I gave it either an 8 or a 9. I think I'd say 9, just because I think it is.
Oh,
Awesome. Well, he's back.
Ah man.
Finish your thoughts.
Sorry. I think it is one of the best superhero movies made, but it still does have some cringy stuff in it, so not quite a 10. All right,
Cool.
that's all I got.
All right, for me, last place is going to be Spider-Man 3. I give it more of a 6 out of
Obviously.
10 because I don't think it's quite, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible movie. I do enjoy a lot of it. I think it could have been done right had Sony not messed up so much with Sam
yeah.
Raimi's vision. Um,
It had lots of
and
potential.
I do love the memes quite a bit, and it's honestly it's pretty good. Like it's got some well made shots, it's got some good stuff. It's just it lacks a lot with how many villains are in it and kind of the direction it takes, and just it's a little too memeable when it shouldn't have been that memeable. So that's the last place for me.
Yeah.
Next place for me is gonna be Spider-Man 1. I give that about a 7.5 out of 10 because I do think it's strong. It's obviously stronger than Spider-Man 3. It's still though it starts, it's the first movie, which usually isn't the best in like some sort of sequel or trilogy or anything like that. Um, so obviously has a lot to build its characters up from, and I just think that it lacks a lot with people like Harry and characters like that. Um, it could be better, but I also love it a lot because I mean I grew up on that movie. I remember lots about
Mm.
that movie, and I love Green Goblin as a villain. Uh, so that's second place for me. And then, of course, first place Spider-Man 2. I give that like a 9 out of 10 because it's not quite perfection for me as a movie goes, but it's almost there. Um, although there's a lot of memes, I can forgive them a lot more in this movie. And I think Doc Ock's a great villain. I think Spider-Man losing his powers and just how the burdens of a superhero life is awesome to see because you don't see that very often in hero movies anymore. Um, and yeah, I just love how it looks. I love how New York is in that movie. I just pretty much love a lot of things in that movie. And the memes are great too. So Spider-Man 2 is best for me. Um, so cool. And then I think, final question here, or final thing we're going to rank here is I was just wanting us to rank the villains. Um, and that's including Venom, Harry, Harry and Spider-Man 3, Sandman, Green Goblin, Doc Ock. So I don't know if you want to start, Caitlin, but I was just thinking you go from
Okay.
least favorite to favorite again.
Least favorite. I mean, out of the movie trilogy, probably Harry is my least favorite. I mean, he's. I like James Franco, but I just think the movies didn't really. I mean, the second movie, all he does is complain. All he does is like, "Oh, Spider-Man killed my dad." Like he's
So
just
annoying.
he's so annoying. And then in the third one, he's like, "Oh, I magically forget everything. We're friends again, Peter." Like it felt pointless. But I think
Yeah.
it could be really fun to see like if we got to like watch Peter and like Harry kind of grow up together, and then that like Pete Harry realizes like you killed my dad. That'd be really cool. But I say that Harry's probably like a 5 for me. And then just going up from movies, I say Venom is probably next. Just from the movies, I really like him, but like I feel like they did him dirty, and it could have been better. So he's probably a 5 or 6 too. And then I have a hard time with Green Goblin, Doc, and Sandman because I really like all of those characters.
Yeah.
I honestly I think Doc Ock is probably my favorite. I'm just gonna try to go from there because what's that guy's name? Alfred, the actor's name? or something.
I'm not positive. I don't know.
I think he does such a good job in that movie, and I feel like his motivations are like really good. I mean, his wife dies, and the scene where he's like in like the abandoned, I think it's his old house, right, or something, where the place happened, and like
Yeah.
he's looking into the water, and he's like, my wife is dead, my dream is dead. He's like, these things should be at the bottom of the ocean with me, and like, this dude's about to kill himself, and like the tentacles are like, no, bro, don't do, like I really like that scene. I think he's an awesome villain. I think they did him really good, and I would like to see him in other movies. I really would. And then I think Sandman is probably next, just because I think he has really good motivation, and I mean he's freaky. Like he's honestly kind of like a scary villain. Like just manifesting.
Yeah, he
Like
is.
he could. He's really scary. And when Peter like smashes his head against a subway train, and it's just all sand, I think that part's so cool. Like he's a scary villain, and he could be really cool. And then honestly, William Dafoe's Green Goblin, like if I didn't have to rank him, like he would probably just be my favorite because I love him as the Green Goblin. I love his portrayal. I love it when he's an old woman and he turns around and screams in Peter's face. I love what he did.
Yeah.
I love the way he smiles into the mirror. I mean I love it. I love his costume, and I think it's just ridiculous, but I love him so much. I didn't give them numbers because I can't, but like
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think he's
Cool.
awesome.
Awesome. That's cool. That's great. Josh, your villain ranking.
Okay, so my least favorite, I'd say, is Harry Osborn, as because like I didn't really like him as a villain. It was interesting, like a friend turning on a friend due to certain reasons, but I don't think I really enjoyed it as much as I could have. And then next, I'd put Venom, just because like they could have done better with it, like Caitlin said. But I still think it was a cool idea. They did some things good with it, like the way it looks sometimes, like at the beginning when it was forming into
Mm.
the creature it was at the end. I thought they did a good job with that. And then next I'd have Doctor Octopus. I thought that I thought that was a really fun villain, and like you really felt for him because like his wife died, and then he had nothing left to do until he was like manipulated by the arms, and it's you can really feel for him, and I thought they did really well with that. And then I'd say a tie for my most favorite villains would be Green Goblin and Sandman, because I really like Sandman, like motivation and like how he wanted to help his daughter. I really thought that was cool, and it really showed how much he cared for it. Except when they took out that deleted scene, like I mean that doesn't really change much, but I don't know if you guys have seen it. Like he builds the sandcastle for his daughter. Like
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I haven't
that's
seen
a
that either. It sounds good though.
yeah,
So
like if you
cool,
look it
yeah.
up, it's a pretty cool deleted scene.
Yeah, I've never
And
seen that.
and
Sounds
then Green Goblin was really good. Like just like it was
Yeah.
one of those funny villains. Like it was so fun. He was like one of those regular crazy ones, but he was such a fun villain, and I loved when he like appeared in the other movies. I thought that was fun, like when he appeared to Harry, because
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I like that scene
that
too.
was cool.
yeah, those are cool. Okay.
Cool. Awesome. Sounds good. Then, Ethan, your ranking here.
All right, so at the bottom for me, it's got to be Harry. I never really saw him as a villain, and it annoyed me how many times Peter tried to like explain himself and try to reason with him, and he just didn't listen. I thought that was really really dumb. Next up, I'm actually gonna put Sandman, just because I feel like they were on the right track with his daughter and everything. He had motivation. but he really only showed up at the beginning and the end, and the whole retcon with him killing Uncle Ben is just awful.
Yeah, that was weird.
It takes
I
away
didn't
from
like
the
that.
first film.
And I agree with
I
that.
agree.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So above Sandman, I'm actually gonna put Venom. Obviously, there's a lot wrong with him, but I think the relationship between Peter and Eddie Brock, kind of them battling for the staff job and everything, it kind of near the end, it built up a lot of, it made it more satisfying when they actually fought at the end, because it was, him and Eddie finally being able to compete with Peter. And then above that's going to be Doc Ock. I think that was just an awesome villain. The arms and everything, the effects still hold up really nice.
Oh yeah.
Some of the battle scenes are just awesome. And then number one for me is going to be Green Goblin, just because that whole relationship with Norman, and Norman kind of as a father figure to Peter, it's so great by the end when he finally, that line where he's saying, I have a father, his name was Ben Parker. It's just great.
Good stuff. Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Aiden, you want to do yours?
Yeah, so I originally had Venom at last place, but then I decided to switch it with Harry. Because I think Harry could have been better, but I don't know. He just bugs me so much in number 2. And he kind of sucks in not season 3, episode 3.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have him at last. He's meh. He does have So Good, though, so. Puts him up a little bit. Then after that, I have Venom. I think Eddie Brock was a good character. I just think that when he actually turns into Venom, or even a little bit before that, it just gets super rushed with his character.
Mm-hmm.
It's not executed very well. But I think he was a fine Eddie Brock. Got kicked out again. Okay,
Oh no.
I have Sandman after that, because I thought that he would have been better if he was just the main villain.
Yeah.
I didn't like him teaming up with Venom and stuff. I thought he would be better as a standalone villain, but his motivations were good and stuff, so I thought he was cool. Which I have a little bit mixed opinions about, because I'm not a huge fan of his motivation. I like the whole wife thing and stuff, but I don't like how his motivation is basically that he just has to finish his experiment, and he just wants to finish
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little bit eh.
Yeah.
And then I have Green Goblin. I think William Dafoe is just a very creepy dude, and he does his role really well as the Goblin. Yeah. I think he just has great scenes and stuff. He's awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Then for me, really quick here, I think I'm the one person who's going to do this, but I'm going to put Venom here in last place. I'm not really counting Eddie Brock. I guess I could, but I'm counting more just Venom when he shows up for the last 10 minutes. Because one, I think he's just there for a sec.
Yeah.
I don't like how it's done, and I just don't get anything good from him really as Venom that I really like. So I'm not a big fan of Venom. And then for me next would be Harry. And a big reason for that is mostly for his redemption at the end, where he decides, you know what, I'm going to go help Peter. I'm going to let go of my pride here, and I'm just going to come help him defeat this. And he even gets killed and sacrificed. I mostly like him for that redemption there. I'm obviously not a big fan of Harry in the other movies and him as an actor and his character and everything, but I do like him there, and I do think he's pretty cool with his sword and his cool stuff with his glider. I mean, I think he looks pretty cool, so I like him. After that would be Sandman for me, just because I do like him a lot, and I think he does have a good kind of a good arc and a good story arc. I do agree. I don't really like how he's the one who killed Ben, or I don't really get how that all went down really. But I do like the
Yeah.
scene where he is talking to Peter there at the end, and Peter's like, "I forgive you." Sandman's like crying and stuff.
Oh, that's a good scene.
I like that
And then
scene
he
a
gets
lot.
dusted.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good scene.
So, so I do like that, and that's a big reason I like Sandman. I think he's actually one of the best actors of the entire Raimi trilogy. There, I think he is a phenomenal actor.
Oh,
to be honest.
agreed.
I
Yeah.
think he knows how to do emotions well. He knows how to do his dialogue well. He's very believable. So I like him. Next for me is going to be Green Goblin, just because I remember him the best actually out of all the villains, and I just love him. I mean, he can be really cringy sometimes, though. I mean, it is funny when he's the old lady and stuff, but it's also like so random and weird. And I just,
That
I don't
part
know.
gets me.
He's Willem Dafoe can just be so funny, even though I know he's not trying to be. But Willem Dafoe also is a great actor, So I mean, I give him that appreciation there. And
Yeah.
I do love the whole Macy's
He's
Day
awesome.
Parade and that whole scene with him versus Spider-Man. I think that's great.
When he
So,
vaporizes all the dudes and their skeletons,
Yeah.
that part's so
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, and all the balloons, and I don't know. I like that stuff. And then number one for me is, of course, it's going to be Doc Ock. I think just picking that villain in general was a great idea. And I just love that, he's making these arms and that they have control over his mind. I do agree with Aiden there. Like, I don't think his intentions very well, just to finish that experiment with whatever he's trying to do there. But I love that Peter's like, trying to talk to him, and like they almost have a relationship going on there. So I'm going to say Doc Ock is number one there.
Cool.
Cool stuff. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I actually had one more question. It's definitely not going to be as long as the other ones. I guess this could be a general answer from all of you, but I was just going to talk about the Rotten Tomato scores really quick for each movie, and I just want to see if everyone's like, you know what, that's cool,
Oh, yeah.
or no, I disagree with that. So talking first to Spider-Man 1, it's got a 90%. Anybody can go. Do you guys agree with that? You think that's good for that movie, or would you give it higher, give it lower?
Yeah, I say that's good. I say that fits with.
I honestly thought it was going to be lower, but
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
I think that's a
No,
fair
yeah,
score.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, they're going to say like 82, but no, 90s, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. Say that
Cool.
fits with-
I mean,
good movie.
I think it should be more in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A little bit below 90. I don't think it deserves quite a 90.
Yeah, that's tough. I'm like cool with 90, but if it was in low 80s, I would get it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so I'm cool with that. And then Spider-Man 2's got a 93%. How do you guys feel about that?
Okay. Because like based on like what people generally like a lot of people think, usually it's number 2 is the best one for a
Yeah.
lot of people. So I'd say that fits pretty well with how I like the movie. So
Yeah,
that could be
2's my favorite, so I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Slightly better
feel
than
like-
the first.
Hearing that number 2 got a 93, I feel like now number 1 should be like a little bit like lower. I don't know if that makes
Lower.
sense.
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. That's it.
Yeah, I was like,
That's why
kinda,
I
like,
got it lower.
too
Yeah.
close. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty close.
'Cause I think a
Yeah.
93 is like almost like perfect for the second one. But no,
I think it should be 94. Just
I
one
agree.
more higher.
I was going to say that. I think 94, 95 is what I'd give it, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited
93 is
to
cool.
Me too.
There's not a big
remember.
difference in 94 and 95, but just closer to 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excited to hear number 3.
Yeah, number 3, we got a 62%.
Oh.
That's sad.
Still fresh.
It's a big drop.
Yeah, still fresh. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
super low. It's not terrible.
Mhm.
that's true.
I think I don't
I
even
think
know
I'd
how
give
they
it-
score that one, honestly.
I know. It's rough.
Yeah.
I
I'd say
mean,
it
yeah.
kind of fits. Maybe I think that right around that area,
Yeah.
just or up a couple points, or I don't even know, just somewhere around that area. That fits, I feel.
Hmm.
I could definitely see
I
it
think-
being lower for like a general audience. I'm kind
Yeah.
of biased just because I love the trilogy so much. It's high for me, but
Hmm.
Yeah.
there's so much wrong with it. I could see it being rotten easily.
Yeah.
That's true. That is some
Yeah.
forgivable.
I think that's a
number
good
right there.
score.
Yeah.
I feel like I
That's
can't
crazy.
score it because I like enjoy it like just ironically or
Yeah.
so
me
much,
too.
you know, that
I'd give it
I
like a
could never
90
like
if
give
I
it
was
like
doing that.
yeah. If it was just pure enjoyment, that's getting 101. Like
Oh yeah,
I
101.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
but it's from
Yeah.
like an actual critical standpoint. I don't
I-
know. I couldn't like.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it. I really couldn't.
Yeah.
I actually
I-
saw a meme where Cuties was higher than Spider-Man 3.
What?
And it was like, you know how much I've sacrificed, and it showed the scores.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Is that?
Is that real?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
real?
higher. You can look it up.
Let
Holy
me see
moly.
this.
Cutie's got a 97.
No. Really?
Spider-Man 3.
Apparently
got
Netflix
an
is getting like
86.
criminal charges for that movie, but
That's
Oh
got
my
an
god.
86%.
I think that's the dumbest movie could ever been made, but I'm never
Cutie's
gonna
That's
watch
awful.
it.
I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
we
going
got
off
that
topic,
movie
but
instead of Spider-Man 4. Oh crap.
So stupid. I think I'm gonna say, and you might all disagree. I'd maybe put Spider-Man 3 a little higher, not much higher, maybe a little higher. If it was like a 70, I could be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with the
I
62,
think that's
but
what I was
70,
thinking.
I'm cool with 70.
I think 62.
Yeah.
I feel like 60s is a fine place for it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't complain if it was a 70. I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sounds good with me.
Yeah. But okay. Well, that's cool. That's all I got for you guys. I appreciate that y'all wanted to come on here and do this. It means a lot.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Yeah, it was
Really fun
fun.
talking Raimi with
Yeah,
you guys.
awesome.
thanks for
I don't know if
having
you
me.
each wanna give your, I don't know if you guys got personal instas. You want to give your account a shout out, whatever you want. Table's up to you guys. Any of you want to shout yourselves
Yeah.
out?
Oh. Look for daily 3 minutes of playtime on Instagram.
Yeah.
You'll find me.
Peter eats hot dogs daily, guys. Hit it up, man.
Heck yeah.
Let's see.
Peter screams daily, obviously. You know, get your daily dose of that
Your daily
That
does.
that
scream.
famous
Yeah.
scream.
You seriously, you have the best captions out of all of us.
That is true.
Oh,
You always
yeah,
find a way to
Uh-huh.
quote from
And
the
Yeah,
movie.
quote
I
every
noticed
day.
that.
Yeah.
You quote
Like,
every day.
it's amazing.
so much effort. I love it.
I went through every single movie and just found, you know, Peter's quotes.
They're all
Everything
good.
everything I could.
Yeah.
Bonesaw, do you have any? Is there any in yours? Any? I don't know what your captions are. I forget what they are. Do you put any funny
Guys,
captions?
I think they're
I just called the
think
group
they're
chat. I
random.
didn't mean to.
I think
I saw that.
like I say have a nice day. I apologize if I miss a day. Sometimes I do a quote.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk about the extra the captions about one of the other videos I posted with the scene. So my captions are pretty random. But
Same.
Yeah, I feel like you, Caitlin, like Peter eats hot dogs. Always just about like life. It's just like life stuff. You're just
It's
like,
either like it's literally just what I'm feeling in that moment of time when I'm like,
yeah,
oh my god, I'm trying to do my homework, but like I gotta post on Instagram right now, or like it's
Yeah.
crazy. I'll be like in the back room at work and like I'm like trying to like quickly get it done. I'm like I gotta do it faster. It's all weird. It's
Or
random.
you'll be like, college be stressful.
That's
You're like, I'm
great.
stressed out. Things like that.
You guys, I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I'm just an 18-year-old girl. Help.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I love all your
Yeah.
accounts. Y'all are great. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing
thank you
this.
for having
no
us.
problem.
Good to connect with people all over the place and good to get some perspective there. So, thanks for
Yeah.
coming on, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
No
Yeah.
I'm
problem.
gonna stop this recording.
Okay.